Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE PLE recaps. I am your host, the Secret Boss Cal, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the EST Delisha. What's going on, Delisha?
Hello, hello. Another Monday, another recap.
Yeah, and today we'll be talking about some Wrestlepalooza, an old ECW PLE, or pay-per-view as they would call it back then, now in the names of WWE, and also the first one being shown on ESPN with their new partnership they have. Gotta say hello to Randall. Thank you for joining us. I hope you got to watch it, Randall. Um, and that's we were actually talking about you before. Sorry, Randall. Did you watch it on like your TV or did you watch it on your phone? Because I know you said you were having issues with like it starting over every time. So was it like chaptered on your TV or not? Like what platform did you watch it on? I guess before we start talking about it, Delisha, what did you think of the card going in, and also what did you think of the whole ESPN partnership? I know like a lot of people had trouble watching it. I know, putting all that aside, like what do you think of like the actual presentation and how things were done? Like they kind of like made it more sporty with like them going out to the audience and stuff like at the beginning of the pre-show. I don't know if you watched any of that stuff and stuff like that. But what do you think of, like the presentation and all that and the card?
Yeah, well, I missed the first two matches of that live, so I didn't get to see any of like the pre-show or like preemptual into the show type of fanfare. So I wasn't able to see that type of presentation. But I feel like it felt like your standard PLE presentation. Big production, big crowds. Just trying to put on a good show. I mean, on names on the card all look fairly good. Like you should have been in for like some good matches. Some delivered, I think some did not. We'll talk about which ones I felt did not. But overall, it felt like a PLE. I mean, better than Saturday Night Main Events, which I guess technically they're not PLEs. They're just special shows, but they try to make it sound like they are. But yeah. So I guess I don't know if Wrestlepalooza the name will stick around for next year. I'm not a fan of it in 2025. I mean, this might have been fine back in the 90s or early 2000s, but I feel like the name's a little bit dated at this in this juncture of entertainment. But they don't care about what I think. They being the higher up for WWE.
Clearly, they don't. Um, and
But yeah,
why should they? They made a partnership with the Saudis. So, women don't have rights
exactly.
or thoughts of their own or opinions that should be listened to. Welcome, Entertain. Thank you for joining as well. And another thing about that is like, I think ECW used that name WrestlePalooza to mock WrestleMania, right? So like that's kind of like them using that name that ECW used to mock WrestleMania as their own PLE now, which is stupid. Like I agree with you, it's a stupid name. I don't think, and like after what was said about this PLE, like after even ESPN itself, I don't know if you know about this, but ESPN, which is the new partner of WWE that hosted this PLE, gave it a C rating, saying they it wasn't
Yeah,
good.
I did see that, and I think people were trying to make it a bigger deal than it was, because ESPN has been doing these grades for, I feel like for the PLEs for a while, because I would see them when I would like look up the results and stuff. So this isn't their first time doing a grades review of WWE, and I didn't think they would be any nicer just because it's on their platform.
I'm
They're gonna
not. Yeah.
treat it as if it was an NFL game or baseball or whatever else ESPN Sports does. So I didn't buy into that as much as people were trying to like make it a thing, because these are actual people who watch the product reviewing it. So or the same as one of the YouTube shows that will do like graded LPOs or you know so
Yeah,
uh, I didn't buy into that too much, but I did think it was funny that their their own partner was like, it was fine, y'all.
yeah, I like that they didn't hold back. That was good. That they're showing kind of like impartiality. It might be someone who doesn't like get any benefit from you know rating it. I don't know if I said hi to you, Entertain. Welcome, Entertain. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, let's go ahead and start. There was one pre-show match. The pre-show match, as always, featured. Oh wait, hold on. Let's go back to that. Pre-show Jay Uso and his tag team partner Jimmy Uso. The Usos reuniting to face the Bronze. So the Usos versus the Bronze. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Um, the Vision. Alicia, I believe this is the match is yours.
Yeah, with our special guest referee of LA Knight, who got tasked with that earlier in the night. Um, yeah, I think pretty much right off the bat. Well, if you didn't see that little kerfuffle that happened earlier in the show, they were like about to go fight or whatever, and Adam Pearce just says, "I need someone a little bit stronger than the rest." Which is I thought was funny. But and then LA Knight pretty much said he's like, I don't care. I'm just gonna hear just to count the 1, 2, 3 or submission. And that is pretty much what he did for this whole match was give them way more leniency than any of
Mm-hmm.
your official refs would do. I feel like within the first 30 seconds someone was grabbing a chair. And at first LA acted as if he was gonna like enforce him to put it down. I think he did ask Bronson to put it down. And then when he was turned to deal with, I think, with Breaker and I think Jay, Jimmy used the chair, and then like LA was like, yeah, whatever. And that was pretty much the tone of the match to where, because Bronson and Braun are the more powerhouse team, they did, classic tag team, where you keep one on one side of the mat before so they don't get the hot tag. And that just happened to be Jimmy at the start of the match, to where Bronson and Braun, I'm going to warn you now, I'm probably going to confuse the two pretty much throughout the recap because of their names. Keeping him to his side of the ring, and while playing around with weapons or uh, playing around with that 5 count and keep him in the corner longer than they're supposed to. But we did eventually get the hot tag for Jimmy. I mean, for Jay, which of course he is the more popular brother at this moment. Um, to excuse me, uh, to where I mean, Jay has a limited moveset, but what we did see throughout the match is why Jimmy and Jay are one of the most revered tag teams in the business. Not even just the I think just in tag team in general. Where you can see why they work so well together. Not just only, I mean, I don't know if it is because of brothers, but because they've been working with each other for so long. We almost got a lot of like 2.99 counts with the would that involve the twins and the bronze. I think even Jimmy did like a swanton bomb onto Bronson Reed, and then I think Braun after that came and like speared him, and then Jay came into the spear of his own, and then like one of the Uso slashes, what they call it, uh, for like a dramatic count. I think they were also playing off LA Knight having feuds. I mean, not feuds, beef. I don't know issues, but all four of them involved, and that tension also led into the matches. I think Jay almost hit him twice. I think once almost with like a suicide dive, and once like he was going to hit him with a chair. I believe happened like twice in that match. And I think it was after, well, I think the almost chair shot to LA Knight from Jay that Braun Breaker took advantage of that and gave a spear through the table. Um, that I believe that's what got them the three count pin. There was an issue in the match where I believe it was that Jay went to go hit Braun with a chair. I mean, he did hit him with a chair, and I don't know. It was just some weird reverberation from the momentum he swung, or Braun's back is just that bouncy. I don't know, but Jay hit himself with the chair, which prompted him to like bleed like almost instantaneously. Which I think was like freaked him out a little bit because you could tell see Jimmy like trying to like calm down. Which fair, head wounds they bleed a lot, even if a small cut. You're bleeding like that scream mask we all had back in the 90s. But rightfully so, I believe the Vision should have won. I think it adds credence to the Vision, and also I think they're playing with a Jey Uso heel turn. I'm not quite sure, but it seems like they're trying to plant that seed. This might dive even further into that. I'm not sure. But what about you? Did you like the match? Do you think the right team won? And would you be into seeing how Jay, if they do it, could handle a heel turn? Well, on his own. He's been a heel before, but on his own.
Yeah, I like the match. I'm glad that the Bronze won or the Vision won because they really needed it. They already lost to Jay and Roman at WrestleMania. Sorry, SummerSlam. So that how much can they lose? Like it's kind of like the same kind of thing that we used to say about the Judgment Day, right? When the Judgment Day first started, they kept losing a lot. They're like, what the hell is the point of the Judgment Day? Then now they're like one of the hottest tag teams or stables in wrestling or in WWE at least, especially on Raw, right? They're like the number one thing on Raw at the moment. And then same thing about the Wyatt Six, right? The Wyatt Six first came out, they were losing a lot too. Like, what the hell's the point of the Wyatt Six? And now they're also the tag team champions, I believe. So, it's I guess how it starts. Like, even if you start a new like super faction with the two pretty big dudes that don't seem to like take pain or anything like that and dish out a lot of pain, they're still losing. It makes no sense. So now I hope they ride this wave of momentum and keep winning. Maybe even get the tag team championships and hold on to them for a while. But seeing like that stable with I always like seeing stables with all the belts. That's how I've always been. I love that. So seeing like the Vision, like even though I'd rather have CM Punk as the champion, seeing the Vision with all the belts would be kind of cool. Welcome, Will. Thank you for joining us. I think that would be cool. And then, as for Jay, like I really don't care. Like I think he's lost his steam. People still like doing that stupid yeet thing with the hands. Like I said, like when I was there, I didn't want to do it. I didn't do it. I think it's just so stupid. And they tried this whole new thing with the cameras and the flashlights and all that, and it was just like getting to be too much and just annoying. So like if he becomes a heel, I just don't think he has any charisma. Like that's just all he says is that one thing and everyone loves it, But other than that, like it's not like I can't get behind it. It's just boring. Like, so apparently Jayos is in the concussion protocol. Good. I don't need to see Jayos anymore. Now we won't have to have any more pre-shows for a while, so that's good. But yeah, like Jimmy's fine too, but they just seem to be the Usos on the Bloodline, or the Usos as themselves, and that's fine. Them separated does not do anything for me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I thought about that match, and I'm glad the Vision won, and I like to see them keep going. All right, the first match of the evening was on the main card was John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, if you can even call it a match. This is shades of Goldberg, Lesnar, WrestleMania 20. Kind of like their SummerSlam match that Cena and Lesnar had, but it was not as good because there's fewer moves. Basically, the match started out with Lesnar suplexing Cena a few times and hitting a bunch of clotheslines and hard hits, then like suplexing him until Cena was able to get Lesnar down with a shoulder block. Eventually, Cena, I think, might have hit the AA. I'm not sure if he hit the AA yet, but he had Lesnar down on the ground, and he went for no. I think he did hit like one AA, I think, and then he went for the "You Can't See Me," but Lesnar countered it and hit F5, and then Cena kicked out of that, and then I think Cena tried to hit 3 AAs. I think after that, Lesnar kicked out of that, and then like Lesnar hit 5 or 6 F5s after that and got the pin. And it wasn't much of a match. That was basically the whole entire match. There were like some like outside, inside things like that. Oh, not to mention, Paul Heyman came back and did the introduction for Brock Lesnar. That's the one other thing of note. But like literally, there was like 5 moves done in this match because it was basically suplexes, clotheslines, shoulder block, F5, and attitude adjustments. That's all there was in the match. That's pretty much it. And Lesnar looked better than he ever looked. I don't know if you saw when he walked out. He looked in the best shape of his life. And now, is it because they want Cena's final match? Is Cena going to lose every match until his final match? And that way, the last match he wins will be his 100th match to end on a nice, even round figure. I think that's what's going to happen, possibly. Unless he wins one more match and then he loses everything else because they want him to put somebody over as he leaves, right? I think he'll end with 100 wins on PLEs. And the last one's not a PLE, right? Or it is. It's going to be PLE, right? It's called like it's going to be like some Boston PLE, I think they're doing. It's not going to be Saturday. Oh, maybe. No, actually, Saturday, is it? I don't even know. If it's Saturday.
I think it's Saturday night main event.
Okay, so then I think the last PLE might be Survivor Series, then official PLE will be Survivor Series. And, yeah, so maybe he'll win. If that counts, does that count as a win if you're winning as a team? Because he'll probably be in War Games, right? Because I don't know if Cena's ever been in War Games or not. I think Will could tell us, or Joe could tell us if Cena's ever been. I don't think Cena's ever been in War Games, not that I can remember. So
yeah, I can only know that because it started in NXT. Well, they revamped it in NXT, and then when they came back to the main shows. He wasn't there. So yeah.
They said he had 4 more appearances. They said 5, and then one of them being that night. So they has 4 more. But I thought it was 5 more because he has like 2 Raws. I think maybe Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, and then Saturday Night's Main Event. So I think Joe Tessitore said it wrong. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, yeah. But I think Joe Tessitore said it wrong in the pre-show. He said he's got 5 more, 4 after tonight. That's what Joe Tessitore said, or not Joe Tessitore. Whoever spoke before Joe Tessitore, I think said that. I forgot who it was, but whatever. They were wrong, I believe. But yeah, what do you think of this match? If you can call it a match.
I didn't really care. I'm not a Brock Lesnar fan, so I wasn't excited for this match at all. Especially when it was barely much build up to this one either. Um, yeah, because they barely been face to face since that he initially came back. So it's just like, all right, cool, whatever, bro. And then it was over, and I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Okay, let's just move on. I don't care anymore, or I didn't care, and then now I don't. I especially don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I like Brock Lesnar live. I'm glad this kind of went this way. As much as I want to see Cena win, I think, as he like finishes out, I think this is like Brock Lesnar looked like in phenomenal shape. So, or I can't use that term. Um,
I
yeah,
can't admit to that though. He did look good.
so I think it should have went this way. But yeah, it should have been a better match. But I agree with how it went. It was a good smash, unless he fights him again 1 more time. And like, because that's what happened too when Lesnar came back the first time and they fought. Like Lesnar destroyed Cena, and then they fought again, and then Cena beat Lesnar. So I don't know. That's what I can see happening, but I think this went the right way. The next match was for the vacant women's world championship. I think it is Is it the world championship?
Uh, I I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think Tiffany Stratton's the WWE champion, so this is the vacant women's world championship. I believe. Actually, is it?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, the
I
vacant
just looked it up.
women's world championship featuring Io Sky against Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, and this might have been one of my anticipated matches because I just wanted to see. I wanted to see how it would go, and because it's Vakir and Io, so you knew they were going to put on a good match, or potentially they should be putting on a good match. Um, but yeah, I think Io kind of took the lead pretty much early on in the match. Um, and it was funny because I think like on commentary we had Wade, Pat, and Cole. And with of course with Pat being gone doing like football stuff, I don't think he's seen much of Stephanie Vicker. Maybe just some like highlights and stuff. But they were all kind of questioning if Stephanie could match the veteran that is Io, who is touted as one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Um, but Stephanie was definitely showed off like why one she was the number one contender because she had won. Well, she won her uh, Queen of the Ring. That's the what she won to um, be in this match, and then uh, Io because I guess she was a former champion. But I do remember like here teasing the Devil's Kiss. Well, not teasing it, but because Io countered out of it with a roll up. So that was like the teaser because everyone like loves to watch her do that move and then do the Booker T added ad libs. And then I believe who did it? Who did it? I think it was Io who did a double stomp onto Vakir, and which then into the submission of the crossface. But Stephanie was able to roll herself out of it, and then would do. I think Io tried to. I think she also tried to like tease going for the moonsault, but I think Steph blocked her. But I think she kicked did like a high kick, jumping kick to her abdomen, and then get her. I don't know the name of the move, but like when she had her, and I think Io was in the rope, and the move where she takes your leg and like twists it out of the ring. I don't know what it's called. um, but that always looks like it really hurt and that it can really
like a
go
dragon
on.
screw.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. That I feel like one bad move and like you're like knocking your knee out of place or something. I don't know, but it definitely that was one of those few moves in wrestling that looks like it legit will hurt you if you try to just do that on like your random person. um, and then after that is when she was able to do the devil's kiss with the crowd, putting in the Booker T ad libs. If you don't know, then go look it up. Um, and then I think she tried to, I think she went for a pin there, but Io kicked out. And then she was going to go to, I think she tried, after that, she did like a Spanish fly to Vikir. And which then tried to set her up for the over the moon salt. What do you call that? I don't know if you call that dive or I guess backflip, but she had took down her knee pads to expose her knees, I guess, for more impact onto the abdomen. But she missed because Stephanie got her knees up, and then is that her, and then she did the is it SVB?
Yeah.
SVB. Okay. I don't know why I struggle with the initials. I was like, it's just her name. um,
And
to now,
that's a newer version of it. Because remember, she heard that I didn't like how it looked so stupid. Her move looked so stupid, so she changed it.
she must have heard you.
Yeah.
Uh, so she would defeat Io to become the women's world champion. My recap doesn't do this match any justice. It really was like a really great match, and the crowd was super into it. So I implore you, if you did not see that match, if you watch anything from this card, I would say go watch that match because it was really good. And I think Stephanie one proved why she belongs in the main event scene, and what she belongs in that match, and also belongs as being able to carry a championship. I mean, she was the NXT champion and the North American champion at the same time. So not many people can tell that, or can be given the go ahead to be on top at that such a young WWE career. Because if you think about it, she's only been in WWE for either a year or less than a year and has already accomplished so much. So they're really invested in her. And I think this match showed rightfully so why. It was a little weird because the build up to this match was a little bit lackluster. We didn't see much of Stephanie, but I think Triple H cleared that up at the post show, saying that she was dealing with an illness that they wanted to just keep her. Um, so they made a decision to keep her off TV so she could recover from that. So with that added knowledge, it's okay. It makes sense. You don't want to force people into not being well to where they can't perform. So that's counterintuitive to your product being successful. And I'm glad it wasn't Io, not because I don't like Io, but we just had her in the championship. And I know things got a little wonky with me having to be out for eternity, but I think this young star is right now has the WWE fans in the palm of their hand. She's pushing merch, she's pushing crowds and reactions. So, give her the belt and let her run with it for a little bit. But what about you? Did you like this match, and were you okay with Stephanie having the title to work up some feuds later on in the year?
So I was prepping for Crown Jewel, and I forgot that it's in Perth, not in Saudi Arabia. So I wasn't going to give the women a chance, thinking it was in Saudi Arabia. And I fell asleep during this match. But I know, like, I was awake for a lot of it, but then like in the middle part of the match, I fell asleep, and then I woke up to see her do the spinal tap and get the victory and win the match. So that part was cool, and I really love Stephanie Vaquer. I love Io Sky too. So I felt bad that I fell asleep during this match, but I'm like, I can always go back and rewatch it. So that's what I'm probably gonna do. Because I know this match was really good from the parts I saw and what I hear about it online. But from what I saw, yeah, it was definitely like it wasn't hard to make this the best match. From the little that I saw of this match, it was already better than all the other matches that night. So yeah, I love these two women, so I'm glad it happened. And I'm like happy that Stephanie's champion. I just hope she can get better on the mic. I know her English has improved a lot, and stuff like that. But I really hope that you know she gets better on the mic and stuff like that. The funny thing is that her boyfriend, right? He's in NXT. I forgot what his name is, but he's got like the best of both worlds, right? So it's like he's got this hot girlfriend, Stephanie Vaquer, and plus he's deaf, right? So he doesn't have to even hear her. So then it's like the best of both worlds. It's so great. Um,
He's partially.
well, that's probably the part you can't hear women. So, uh,
Yeah, I will say, and maybe it's just hindsight, but I do feel like, yeah, I think even before I felt this way, that this match could have, or maybe even now in hindsight, should have main
main
evented the
evented. Yeah.
show.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then that got me thinking, like, when the heck was the last time the women main evented a PLE? And do you think, because I know the answer, do you think you could figure out what last show it was?
Evolution.
Not counting the all women.
Ah.
Because that
Uh.
just doesn't make sense. It's all women in that show.
Was it
Not all right, not
was it
not
was,
counting Evolution, not counting NXT, and not
okay?
counting Saturday Night Main Event because that's not a POE.
Okay, so not counting any time they actually did. Okay. I'd probably say maybe Rhea Ripley, Perth, Australia.
Yep. That's the last time on an actual PLE that the women main event at the show.
Look at me
Is That's
go.
a crime.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
that was the only one I could think
They
of. And
should
I
be
was like,
they should be happy they're even allowed on TV. Okay. So
I was like, surely that's not right. But no, Saturday Night Main Event is not considered a PLE. It's just a
right.
special presentation,
Yeah.
and then Evolution is an all-female show. So that gets like that's like a shoe-in that.
Well, listen, it could be an all-female show, and it could still the main event could still be Santina Marella versus James Ellsworth or something. So because James Ellsworth technically won the women's Money in the Bank match. So
Yeah, but I do think that's a crime, and it's a shame that your so-called developmental show puts the women over more times than because they
oh yeah.
not even on like Raw or SmackDown for a bulk of the time they don't main event there either.
They did though recently, a bunch of times though. Like I
Not
think
for the
recently
bulk
they
of
have.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy. But yeah,
Yeah, that's what she said. Will. She said that. No, but what I was gonna say about that is like when Will told me that Brock and Cena weren't the main event, I was like, what the hell? I mean, like in hindsight, I'm glad it wasn't. But like when I heard that, I'm like, then it should be Io versus Stephanie, right? Well, I completely forgot that Cody Rhodes is champion. I had no idea. I was like, why is Cody in the main event? Like, where was Cody? I know Cody had a baby. Well, not Cody, but Brandy had a baby.
he has been off TV.
Yeah, and I had no idea he was champion. I completely forgot about that championship, to be honest. Like I'm not even joking. Like I don't like Cody, but like I really did forget that he was champion. I'm like, why is he in the main event? Just because he's returning? Yeah. I'm like this should have been the main event. I love Drew McIntyre, but I'm like this should have been the main event without.
Yeah.
Like when Will told me like so before the PL even started, when Will told me that Brock and Cena are kicking it off, I'm like, okay, at least Io and Stephanie will be the main event. And then he's like, no, Drew and Cody. Like, what the hell? And then then I'm like, well, why is he? Then I thought I'm like, oh my god, he's champion, isn't he? And I was there when he won it, and I completely still forgot. Like it's so stupid. But anyway, all right. Or I thought this next match would be the main event then, which was the mixed match. Oh, I guess you could say mixed tag team match with husband and wife Becky Lynch and husband Seth Rollins and wife Becky Lynch versus husband CM Punk and his wife AJ Lee, making her return to the ring. First time in I don't know how many years, 10 years, something like that. Whatever they keep saying,
yep.
I forget. Oh, he's filming Street Fighter. Oh my god, that's why he's. No, I thought because like Brandy had a baby, that's why he was like paternity. Both. Okay. Well, anyway, this match was basically the first 15 minutes of the match or 10 minutes of the match was AJ Lee trying to get into the match to fight Becky, but Becky would just like go and tag Seth Rollins every time, forcing AJ Lee out, and then Becky would come in and like do a cheap shot to CM Punk, which caused AJ to come in, but she couldn't tag herself in, obviously, because CM Punk was on the ground. A lot of this happened for like I said, a good 15 minutes. Just Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch being sly and getting moves off on CM Punk and not allowing AJ into the ring. Eventually, AJ was able to get into the ring and then go off on Becky Lynch. She first did like the Fez press and started punching and all that. But then they got to that one point later in the match where they're like kind of slapping each other like this and looked kind of stupid. Both of them doing that. That was kind of awful. But there was a lot of, I don't know, like what's going on with Becky or whatever, but like she made like the Black Widow is one of my favorite submission moves. I love when AJ Lee used to do it, but like she made it look so bad. She made it look like she was just like standing there like this, like like nothing was like she was not in any pain, right? Like she was showing she was in pain, but like nothing was bending any way. If you look at it, like there was nothing being submitted, right? So like Becky didn't sell it well, and I didn't like it. Like she in her face she did, but not like the actual move itself. And I hate when that happens. And like both times it was put on her. When it was put on Seth, it looked a lot better when it was put on Seth. But when it's put on her, like she didn't like. I think I wasn't the one who thought this because when I looked on Twitter like the next day, they were showing all these compilations of AJ Lee putting the Black Widow on through her years, and everyone's like arm being bent all the way back and stuff, and it looked really cool. But then they showed in side to side comparison with Becky getting it, and it was like, what the hell's Becky doing? She's like standing normally, kind of thing, just bent over, like holding her up, kind of like in like a GTS position, kind of thing. But other than that, it looked like a really good move, like really good move by AJ. It's just I don't think Becky like pulled her arm back far enough and stuff like that. Um, there wasn't really any big moments. There was like a double sharpshooter attempt, I believe. A lot of Black Widow attempts, double pedigree by Becky and Seth Rollins on CM Punk and AJ Lee respectively. There's a point where there was a really stiff point where AJ Lee was in the corner running to I think she's about to kick Becky in the face or do a stomp, and as she's about to take a step, Rollins from outside the ring pulls her legs out and like AJ Lee falls flat on her face. That was a stiff shot like moment. That looked really hard. I think then that's when Becky Lynch put CM Punk in a sharpshooter. Punk reversed it, and that allowed Rollins to hit the stomp on Punk. Then Lee hit the stomp on Rollins, and then Becky hit the manhandle slam on AJ. So everyone was down on the ground. Eventually, all of them got to their feet, and they went to the announcer table. And I think CM Punk was trying to do a what do you call it? GTS to Seth Rollins on the table, or was it the double pedigree? Whatever it was, AJ Lee was on one table with Becky, and CM Punk and Seth Rollins were on the other table. CM Punk gets distracted. Now Becky and Seth Rollins had the upper hand, but then AJ Lee and CM Punk are able to reverse. So CM Punk, I think, gets Seth Rollins up on his shoulders, but Becky Lee pushes AJ Lee into CM Punk. CM Punk, AJ Lee, and Seth Rollins all go through that announce table, breaking it. CM Punk checks on Seth Rollins. You see him checking on AJ Lee as well. Becky gets into the ring. Becky gets AJ Lee, puts her back into the ring, goes for a manhandle slam again. AJ Lee reverses it into another Black Widow, and this time Becky Lynch taps out. And you see CM Punk in the destroy table outside on top of Seth Rollins, just smiling and really happy for AJ Lee to get the win for the first time since her return. What do you think, Alicia?
Oh yeah, this match was really fun. But given all who were involved, I didn't think it would be anything but fun. Yeah, even though despite, Seth's and Punk's, I guess, like actual personal relationship to like where they had beef, I think they pretty much, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they pretty much squashed it since then. But they're all the utmost professionals and able to work really well together. I really liked Steph and Becky entrance coming down from, um, I guess, not really the rafters, but down from the rafters, and in matching gear. It was really cool to see. And of course, it's wrestling couple law that you have to do each other's moves during a match. Like, you have to. There's no going around it. But yeah, I thought this was really fun. And I do think uh, it was right to give AJ the pinning win. It's her first time back, and also they've been kind of on the not the losing end because there's been no match, but I feel like Steph and Becky have been getting the best of them for the last couple of weeks, so it was a way to like not wrap up the storyline because we know it's not done. Um, Punk and Seth will fight until they are both in the grave, and then they'll continue the fight in the afterlife. But I'm pretty sure just setting up AJ and that down the future for that IC title, which I think will also giving them their one-on-one feud and promos and segments of it will also be pretty fun to see down the line.
Yeah. Welcome, Christopher. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, I did think it's definitely still not over, and it's gonna set up things in the future. And they're like you said, they're gonna fight forever. But eventually, I think we might see them all together on the team. Like I don't know, we'll get a war games with like intergender war games. That'd be kind of cool to see. Um, so according to Will, the attires all had a meaning to it. Seth and Becky were in the colors of Suicide Awareness Month, and Punk and AJ had pride on their attire. Yeah, I saw the rainbow on their bottom of
Yeah,
their
I did
feet.
see
So
that.
yeah, yeah. So um,
And the AJ's husband jacket.
yeah. So it was good. I like it. I got AJ a husband. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, CM Punk's just having a good time. I think now, if him and Seth Rollins ever like get back to their friendship that they had, it'd be fun to see them together. That brings us to the final match of the evening, the main event, which I didn't even know was a main event, was for the WWE Championship, featuring the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes against Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, so this match was I almost on a blood match. That is not what was happening. Pretty much it was Drew who quote unquote, took Cody off television for the last 2 months, I believe. Well, he went and filmed a movie and had a baby. Well, he didn't have the baby, but helping Brandy with the baby. To come back, I think only in the last 2 weeks. Again, which is almost like a rush build for this Wrestlepalooza show. Um, but we pretty much start off with Drew trying to get the upper hand on Cody. I think right off the bat also Cody did a Cody cutter, or he made an attempt one. And then you would hear the commentary like make it. I mean, you would hear the commentators making a commentary that um, Cody looked a little off. He did get attacked by Drew on SmackDown, so they were trying to like tie it into that. Plus, not being in the ring the last 2 months, thanks to Drew's, I think it was a Claymore into the announce table or ringside, something like that. Took him out. So there, I guess they were like playing into that why he was having like the little missteps. So even when he would do a move, an offensive move, like he did a superplex off the top rope, he would like be slow to get up. Just really playing into that he's not still 100%. But of course, Cody Rhodes is almost like a real life, I guess, like action figure, action hero. Not superhero, but to where like no many times, how many times you knock him down, he's gonna get back up. You would pretty much get that back and forth between him and Drew. I think Drew, because he's the heel, was trying to like expose the turnbuckle. Of course, the ref was nowhere to be seen doing something. I think Cody went for like a roll up. Um, that would go to like 2.5 count. And then we had it set up on the outside to where it looks like Drew was going to try to do that, play more into the announce table again. But this time, Cody was able to get out the way, and Drew like got his leg caught in the thing, which I don't know that part of the announce table I've never seen like crash into, so I didn't know it was that flimsy, unless it was that flimsy from that match. But where I guess it just says, I don't even know if it says anything on that part of the table, but it really much looked like he went through paper. But of course, that setting up like, oh no, my leg, I can't do it. But he was able to do a the white noise off the top rope on Dakota, but that might have been before that spot. Um,
It was
but
because I think
because
for the rest of the match he was selling his leg.
yeah, yeah, okay, got it. Because he would sell it to try to do the Claymore one more time while he got back in the ring. But Cody took advantage of that, and then with a roll up, Cody cutter, and then rolling up to get the 1, 2, 3. I think overall the match was fine. It was pretty much how a Cody and Drew McIntyre match would go. Like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like great. And then that Cody Cutter winning victory, it happened so suddenly, like almost as if they rushed something. So maybe like where maybe Drew was feeling a little bit off after that. Miss Claymore, but I don't know. It just that ending felt a little off. I don't know if anyone else felt that way. But overall, I did think the match was fine. But after that super stellar women's match, you're kind of like, oh, kind of feel a little faltered when you were like, oh yeah, that women's match should have been the main event. But otherwise, I thought the match was fine.
Yeah, I think like there's supposed to be a whole angle of Randy Orton coming out and like costing Cody the match and then starting a feud with Cody and all that stuff. But it didn't pan out that way. So this seemed just like another main event of Raw. Didn't really seem like it should be a PLE main event. It still adds to my point that I feel like Cody is a mid carder and he doesn't deserve this championship title. Like he's really what his opponents are, right? Like the Roman Reigns was able to elevate him, right? And that made him that story that he had so much better because he had a great opponent. Same thing with the Cena thing, right? The Cena thing, like it was what made him. I think it's the opponents, and I'm not taking anything away from Drew, but like I think Drew was trying to take stuff away from like take stuff out of Cody, but Cody wasn't there to reciprocate, right? Because Cody was away filming and all that. So Drew is great, like like posting, trolling on Twitter, trolling like when the person his opponent is not available. He's very good at that. But Cody needs to interact with that person to elevate himself, right? Because that's how the fans get behind Cody. Because he's like he's our hero, right? That's how like the morons out there look at Cody. They're like, oh, he's our hero and all that. The Cody crybabies. And since Cody wasn't there to do that, you didn't really feel that build up for this match. I feel like really the only match that had like a lot of build up was actually well not besides CM Punk and that is the Brock thing, right? Like ever since SummerSlam. Um the Usos had been fighting kind of like with the Brawns, but it wasn't like it was just little things here and there, and then they throw an LA or whatever Max Supreme into the mix and all that. But Cody needs to be there. He needs to be on the mic. That's like the one good thing he has. I don't even like him on the mic, but that's like the one good thing he has because that's how he gets the fans behind him. So since he wasn't able to like what do you call it, spar on the mic or via promo with Drew, it wasn't the same. This match didn't feel the same. It felt like it could have just been announced by Adam Pearce at the beginning of Raw for the end of Raw kind of thing. And the women should have main evented because this is like a nothing match without even having Randy Orton. So unfortunately, I think we're going to see this again because McIntyre's going to keep like digging into Cody, saying like, if my leg didn't like whatever, I would have had you. You're done. You're done. I also remember they had that spot where Drew rolled up Cody and the referee was outside the ring, and then he came into the ring and it basically would have been like maybe a 4 count or a 5 count, but it was only a 2 count because the referee was outside the ring, had to get back into the ring, reestablish 1, 2, and then kick out. So Drew has like 2 outs to say, hey, listen, I had you beat, but whatever happened. So they might fight again in Perth, and that's when we'll see Randy Orton interfere and then all that kind of stuff. And that's what I think might be happening. But yeah, I didn't care much for this match. And I think Will said something in a long, drawn out way. So let me see what he said. Oh yeah, basically what I said about Randy Orton. That's what I said. I think it was taking a while to type it up. But yeah, yeah, that's all. Anything else to say about this match before we move on?
Nope.
Okay, so that brings us to the finishers, or what's at least your low point, your high point, your overall grade?
Yeah. Well, my low point.
And let me say before you go, I feel like ours is gonna be spot on. Low point and high point. I don't know about the grade, but I think the low point and high point will be spot on. Go ahead.
Yeah. The low point for me is the Brock and Cena. Objectively, it just was the one that was the most least interesting to me. As far as execution, also because I wasn't already looking forward to the match, and for it to just be, the Brock show. I guess that technically is how Brock Lesnar matches go anyway. But yeah, I was just like, oh, okay. But I'm also glad it was the first match and got out of the way. High point, probably no surprise to anyone, was the women's match. It was the high point of the entire PLE. Um, and overall, I think I'm gonna give it a C plus. Because outside of the John Cena Lesnar situation, I think all the matches were good. I just think I think well, I think this whole PLE event might have been rushed just so they can get it as the first one for ESPN, so that it didn't really give things time to breathe. And especially some people, of course, having like personal situations going on. But overall, I think the matches were fine, with the exception of the 2, I guess, middle ones, with the mixed tag and the women's match. I think those were kind of the highlights, and everything else could have been elsewhere. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a C plus.
Okay, so Will, same thing. Cena, Lesnar, low point, high point. Io Becker, his grade is a C minus. As for me, like I said, I guess we're all on the same page. My low point was Brock Lesnar versus Cena because I thought that I love having Lesnar win and the way he won. I like it. I just think Cena could have done a little bit more for the fans in Indianapolis, I believe it was, right? But I guess, wait, wasn't Royal Rumble in Indianapolis this year?
Yep.
So I guess like they've already seen Cena this year, so he doesn't really need to put on to it. But you never know. Some fans who were at Royal Rumble couldn't afford to go to Royal Rumble were now here, and then they didn't get the same show they could have gotten. So you gotta look at it that way as well. My high point was Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky because I love them both, and I fell asleep during it. I'm gonna probably go rewatch it right now. But from what I saw, it was awesome. From the parts I saw, and overall grade, I'll definitely give it a D because only one match was good. There are 5 matches, only one was good, so I'll give it a D, and it was not very good. Speaking of D, Delisha, what have you been up to, and where can we find you?
I've just been going through life, being a parent and working and trying to survive. And that's pretty much been my life since the last PLE, and will be my life for the next 18 years.
Eventually, they'll take over and start doing the show.
Pretty much.
They'll take our spots. But all her links are in the description below, in the bio below, so make sure you check that out. As for me, you can find us here again on AfterMat covering Crown Jewel, which is in Perth. So we will be covering it because it's in Perth. And that's going to be on October 11th, and you will see us on October 13th covering it. Other than that, I don't think we have anything else coming up in my eyes from what I'm thinking. I don't think there's anything else because I know they throw in like little things here and there, but I think that's about it. But until next time, guys, remember, you guys are all idiots, and the secret boss is always right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go, finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.